The giving pyramid. This represents a simple triangle. This represents 70 years of fundraising in the United States of America. 70 years. All nonprofits report in, they do their tax forms or their 990s, whatever they do, and then those are collated and studied. And they're studied over the past 70 years to see how money has come to the nonprofit industry. And what they've learned over those 70 years is about 10% of all the income you raise annually, about 10% should come through donor acquisition. Donor acquisition. You need to be acquiring new donors every year. Because if you don't, about 30 to 55% of your donors will cease to give annually. So if you're losing 30 or 35 or 40% of your donors annually, and you're not acquiring new donors, what is happening to your organization? That's a slow death. And you get to the point where you can't afford programs, and you start to hit the hard times, and the donors that you took the time to acquire give for a little while, and then they just kind of fade away. They lapse. Something happens. So you're always needing to acquire new donors. Individual donors give about 80% of the income to the average nonprofit. So if I have a $100,000 budget, individual donors, about $80,000. The vast majority of your money comes from individual donors. About 80% of that 80% comes from what we call major donors, people who give a significant gift. A major gift is a gift of size, usually a little bit unusual to other gifts, maybe $500 or $1,000 for a small nonprofit. A larger nonprofit, $5,000 to 10 or 15 or 25,000 or more in a single setting. But a major gift is also a person, a major donor, who has significant influence on your organization through their volunteering efforts to bring other donors. Now, as you look at that pyramid, so you've acquired a few donors, say you've acquired 100 donors, and they might give one gift, but the key is, hopefully they'll come alongside and give you multiple gifts, and they'll join up with you. They'll feel called to the cause. They will feel called by God to become a key donor or an active donor, and they'll start giving you multiple gifts. And then a few of them will start to give insignificantly, give major gifts. I have talked to hundreds of organizations, just like yours, that people came and were acquired at their fundraising event, and then they gave a small pledge. They might have given a $50 or $100 gift. And then they gave a pledge that might have been $500 or $1,000 a year. But then after a short time, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, suddenly the person gives $5,000 or $10,000 or $25,000. They were acquired, and as they grow in trust and in faith in the organization, their giving increases. Major donors will give about 64% of the income to your organization annually. That's the national average. Now let's look at the pyramid. You got 10% coming from new donors, you got about 80% coming from individuals, and a part of that individual is about 64% of your overall income should come from major donors. About 10% of your income will come from grants. Foundations, just like ours. Foundations will only give about 10% of your income. And it's very, very mature fundraising. If you don't have the bottom two elements of the foundation that the pyramid built, you will not get the third one up, grants. The very top of the pyramid is planned giving and wills. About 2% of the average nonprofit, the average typical nonprofit, 2% of their income comes from wills and trusts. You add all that together, that's 102%. And we tell you, you got to just work harder than the nonprofit to raise a little bit of money. That's why it's 102%. No, actually, don't budget the top. You can't budget for wills and trusts. That's kind of gross, folks. I mean, you're chasing the ambulances. Somebody sends you a will gift and you go, I wonder how old they are. That's a lot of money. Hey, you call up and say, how you feeling? How you feeling today? Anything we can help you with? You know, got your house in order? Is everything looking good here? So you don't bad budget that. When those gifts come in, you know, that's just what you manage because God takes care of you. And that's a simple, basic master fundraising plan. I encourage you, one of the steps you need to do as you walk out of here today is look at this and say, are we receiving 10% from new donors, 80% from individual donors, 64% from major donors, about 10% from grants. You can do a little higher, 10, 15, 20, 25% as you build out the base.